Okay, so for my mini vocab lesson, I just chose 3 words for now, but it could go deeper. I chose over the water cycle, so this is like the little assignment thing I put together for the class of what they could do. But they would have their word, their vocab word, and then they would write their definition. They would draw an illustration, and then they would use the scientific context. So for example, let's do evaporation. So for evaporation, it is the process of liquid turning into gas. My illustration shows the grass where the dew is lifting up into the cloud for evaporation. And then my sentence or scientific context would be the dew evaporated into gas. So this would allow you to see individually each student's scientific context and if they're understanding the vocab word and the definition and knowing how to form it into their own sentence. And then just to kind of top it off, the illustration kind of also like helps make sure that the student is understanding the word as well. And then when they are done with the whole word cycle, like I said, I just chose a few, like dew. The definition was water droplets that collect from water vapor condensing. And then I drew the dew that was on the grass. And then the scientific context would be, in the morning we find dew on the grass. So the students could go through, do all their vocab this exact way. They would write their vocab word, the definition, they would draw their little illustration of it, and then they would put it in their own scientific context. And then after this, you could have the students group up into pairs of 2 or 3 and go over theirs and then share it, because I think sharing it in a group would allow students that may struggle a little bit more be able to see the other students' sentences, and that would kind of help them also understand the meaning of the word. So where, say I got the dew evaporated into gas, the student that is prior to this that might be struggling understands that dew is the moisture or the water that sits on the grass, and this would just help them use evaporated instead of water. Like the dew, which is the water in the grass, went into the sky, so another student may be able to help them understand how to use or incorporate an evaporation into that process. But I think it's just a little fun activity. It's a little bit different. The illustrations, like I said, really gets some kids involved. It helps them be able to piece it together. And I think water cycle was just a great example and a fun one to do. And that's my mini vocab lesson.